It's the end of the month, so let's talk about how it's gone and what's coming up next. Hello, fellow geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather, and I am glad you are here today because it's the end of the month where we take a look back at how training has gone, what races and medals have come up, anything new that I may have tried, and what's going to be coming up next on my race calendar and on the channel, as well as dropping our monthly Spotify playlist. So we're going to start things out like we always do by taking a look at how training has gone over the past month. Let's take it outside now. It is May. We're actually a few days into the month of May, so I've had a little bit of running. We are currently starting a new training block, and that is for 30K training since I have a 30K on the 1st of June. So just like most of the rest of this part of the country, we are getting rain off and on all week, which not only presents a challenge for just getting outside in general, trying to ascertain just how much rain I can feasibly run in and still be safe, but it also means that when we get a large amount of rain, then that also floods out the trails, which keeps me from getting any time in on the trails and kind of work on that. So we're just going to adapt as best we can, and we're just going to take things as they come to us. So for this week, we are looking at, since we are still in the first part of the training plan, some easier runs, a little bit of uphill work on our speed day, and then a relatively short, I believe, hour 45 long run at the end of the week. So that is what I'm looking at right now, starting off the month. We are also continuing with our physical therapy exercises, and I'm trying to focus a little more on core work, according to my physical therapist's advice, and do a little bit of upper body work, and that's just because I want to. So that's our plan for week 1. I will catch up with you after the long run. And another week in May, and the temperatures continue to go up. We're seeing mid 80s in the afternoons now, so it's only going to get warmer from here, so time to start getting used to the heat, acclimating a little bit, and of course hydrating, replacing electrolytes a lot more. This week is going to be basically a repeat of last week. I'll have a link up here where I go into more detail over what I did in the last week in working on my 30K training. So if you'd like a little more detail, but the long and short of it is mostly easy runs with some hill repeats and then a long run on the weekend. This may be a slightly shorter run on the weekend because I have got so much going on Saturday. We are still in that May crunch with a ton of stuff going on all at once before the end of the school year, and already my summer's starting to fill up, so you know how that goes. But we are just going to take things one day at a time. We're going to concentrate on what we need to get done just today. As of today, easy run, so we're going to work on that. And I have got to go to physical therapy this week. I'm having huge problems with my right calf, so I'm going to see if maybe she has some advice for me on what I can do with that. Take a look at how we can maybe get that to shake loose. But that is the plan for the week. I am feeling strong, feeling confident in the training. I feel like I should be somewhat ready for that 30K, given that I've got just a couple of weeks left to get ready for it. So we're just going to tackle this week, and I will see you at the end of the long run. All right, we are back for another week, and the temperatures are definitely going up. Our highs are in the low 90s now, lots of humidity, so running is getting to be a little bit more of a challenge, having to hydrate a lot more and slow the paces down. And man, let me tell you, long run over the last weekend was rough. I was aiming for 15 miles, managed to get through 12 because the only time I could fit it in was in the middle of the day in between 2 other activities that I was booked to be at. And I was just dragging. I kept slowing way down, needed a lot of hydration, and it was rough. So I called it after 12 miles and decided to spend the rest of the time recovering. So that's where we are right now. We are in the beginning of a taper for the 30K in a couple of weeks. I've got 2 weeks to start slowing it down. So this week is mostly going to be some easy runs, couple of conditioning sessions. So I'm making sure I'm getting my physical therapy in, which I did not do a great job with last week because things are so busy. Why is it everything is so busy at the end of the school year? I just feel like I'm running all over the place. But we are going to fit in physical therapy. We're going to get in our easy runs. We're going to go for, I believe, an hour 45 for the long run for the weekend, and that's it. Trying to not injure myself between now and the start line. So that's where we're headed for right now. It's time to start dealing with some heat, and I will see you at the beginning of next week when we are tapering way down. All right, here we are, the last week of the month. Oh my goodness, what a weekend. On Friday, I started getting sick, so I took a day figuring I could be over it in a day. Saturday, got up and thought to myself I'd just take it really easy. It's a taper week anyway, so went for alternating run, walk. Got about 5 miles in and just couldn't do it anymore, so I called it, collapsed in my bed, and did not move for the rest of the day. By Sunday, I was running a fever. When that finally broke, I managed to drag myself through a slow, easy mile. Feeling much better now, so I'm easing back into it. Thank goodness it is a taper week. I'm just going for a nice walk today. I'll worry about getting some short, easy runs in for the rest of the week, but it's all about regaining my strength before race on Saturday, which I don't know how that's going to turn out because they are predicting rain. Don't know if there's lightning. If not, I will have to run some, if not all of that race in the rain and the mud. So it's going to be a real adventure to see how that goes. Oh, and on top of everything, a gigantic hornet landed on the back of my shoulder and stung me while I was taking the trash out. So now I've got a big knot on my shoulder where that hornet stung me. I'm a mess, you guys. But here's hoping that things go easily into the next month. I will take you back inside now. And that brings us back to today. So as you can see, this whole month has just been a very short training session in preparation for the 30K. That is the Feel the Burn 30K, which is going to be at Burns Park in Little Rock, and that is going to be on Saturday, June the 1st. Now, I've been in mostly half marathon shape, so it's just adding a few more miles onto that. So I should be in pretty good shape.
Unfortunately, the sickness over the last weekend kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop.
But I'm hoping that I am recovering enough during this taper week that I should be able to just get it through. It may not be my prettiest finish, especially since the rain may be coming through that day. The weather does not look super promising, but I'm just going there for the experience. I'm not trying to set a new record for myself or anything like that. It's just a new race to me. It's one that I wanted to be a part of, more than I wanted to try out for a couple of years, and this was my opportunity to do it. So that's what we're going for. So make sure that you are staying tuned to the channel so that you get a race report once that comes out. Overall, looking at training for the past month, it has just been a lot of more of the same with a little more focus on uphill repeats since there are hills on this course, and my coach wanted to make sure that I was going to be prepared for those. So that's definitely something that's been a focus, as well as my regular physical therapy also being a focus for keeping a whole lot of the rest of my body that I've been ignoring for so long, getting it race ready, which has been making a lot of my running so much easier. I'll have a link up here to the physical therapy diaries in case that you've missed some of my stories about that so far. So it actually has been doing a lot of great work just for my overall running in general. But that does it for training. Let's take a look at the race calendar. As I mentioned several times now, we have the Feel the Burns 30K. That is a 10K, 30K, and 50K. I've opted for the 30K, and that's going to be on June 1st. As mentioned before, I do have one that is in the works for 2025, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. And beyond that, my calendar's a little bit flexible right now. I am looking at a potential December and January double that I may be doing, so be on the lookout for that in case I make the decision that I'm going to do it. I'm also looking towards doing the Scorch and Squirrel, and typically that will take place in August. It's going to be very hot and very hilly, so at least I know that ahead of time, and every year I think I'm ready for those hills, and every year I prove myself wrong because those hills are so much worse than I remember them. As far as new gear and equipment that I've tried out this month, my biggest purchase has been the A6 Gel Kayano 30s. That's this right here. There's going to be a link in the description and up here to my initial review of this. And just having run in this for a couple of weeks since I made that first video, I will say that for me anyway, this has been an absolute game changer. I have never run in a support shoe before, and it's one that my physical therapist told me I really needed to look into. And so she has observed me running in these and was super happy with the changes that it has made in my stride. It has really improved the efficiency of my running. And I didn't realize just how badly I needed these until I realized that I was expending so much of my energy in trying to keep balance on my super wobbly ankles and feet. And these are really helping me out a lot. I didn't realize how badly I needed them, and now that I have them, I am super glad. Make sure that you stay tuned because I do plan on doing another review of these after I have run 100 miles in them, so I can give you more of my thoughts about them. So we've talked about upcoming races and a few upcoming videos. Also coming up on the calendar, I do have another show that I am doing. You'll know that when I do theater, I like to give you a little quick backstage tour since I do cover some of my general geekery here on this channel, so you can look forward to a video about that. I'm also having another 30-day challenge video that is coming out where I have done something for 30 days, so you'll want to check that out as well. There is going to be the race report coming up and another episode of Run the USA where we are looking at races in the state of Pennsylvania. If you have any suggestions for races in Pennsylvania, make sure you drop those down in the comments below. And like I've been doing every month this year, we are having the Run the Year update. For those of you who are new here, I run the Run the Year challenge every year. I've done this since I believe 2020, and that is where whatever the year is, that's how many miles I try to cover over the course of the year. Since this is 2024, I will be trying to cover 2,024 miles over the course of the year. And as of the recording of this video, I am at exactly 907 miles of 2024 miles. So I am still making good progress and still am on track for being able to finish this challenge before the end of the year. And finally, like we do every month, we're going to drop a link in the description below to a Spotify playlist. If you are looking for some new music to listen to while out on a short run, then I have got you covered every month. Every month, it will be centered around some sort of a theme usually, or I will have a guest curator come in and help choose songs for me. You can find that down in the description below. You'll also find a list to all of the songs that have been chosen for playlists so far this year, as well as a link to Welcome to the Geek Den. This is a running playlist put together by all of you, the runners. So people have sent in their suggestions for songs that they like to run to be put on this running playlist. So if you're looking for something new, then you can check that out as well. And if you have any suggestions for songs to put on it, make sure you drop those down in the comments below. So that gets us caught up for the month of May, another solid month of training. I want to know, how has your month gone and what are you looking forward to in the month of June? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're there, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. It doesn't cost you a thing. Just click that button and it keeps you up to date on all the running content that I have coming out all the time. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for being here for another month. I am so glad you're here. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. I will see you later.